Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome.
It was a tense day in the palace of the Ooni of Ife. As you know, the elders of Ife, after weeks of deliberation, had finally concluded their task. A list of 29 eligible women had been submitted by different royal families, trusted clients, and noble elders who believed the future of the throne required more strategic alliances. Some did it for power, others for influence, but all agreed the issue of immunity removal from some of the current wives required that new blood, new alliances, and new spiritual anchors be brought into the royal fold. And that is why they are doing this. They said elders have submitted 6 names out of the 29 applications. It's been streamlined to 6 that they would want Ooni of Ife to bring into the palace. For weeks now, the women had been, housed discreetly in different, guest compound around the palace, groomed, trained, and assessed. From sunrise prayer to royal etiquette section, these women were closely watched, not just for beauty, but for discipline, spiritual compatibility, health, fertility, and their families. Standing in Yoruba tradition, it isn't easy for any of them. Some wept behind closed doors, others fought among themselves. It became a psychological battleground, all because they want to be with the Ooni of Ife. And then the screening started. Not from joy, but from tension, competition, and rejection. Out of the 29 women, only 6 would be chosen, okay? Many of these women had been promised things by the elders. Some came in fully believing their time had come, that their lives were about to change. But tradition is unforgiving. The elders, after much conflict among themselves, shouting, debate, and even prayer, settled on 6. The 6 chosen women were not made public immediately. Up to now, it said it's not been made publicly. They are quietly pulled out from the compound in the early hours of the morning and dressed in all white wrappers. Their faces washed and covered with, light veil clothes. They are presented quietly in a small inner chamber, not even in the full court, before a group of senior chiefs. The names of their families, their local oracles, approval, and their symbolic significance to the throne were read out. Each, of these women, according to the elders, represented something critical to the future of the Ooni's reign. One was said to bring, in fact, they represented so much. I'm going to tell you their representation, like what they represent in the other video, right? And they have brought them, as in only 6. They said they kata in the palace. They anger, the fight, this thing with, somebody feeling as though they were rejected. In fact, it was so much. They say all these ones that are happening now is a busybody of the elders. So upon hearing that they want to remove royal immunity, it's not as if it's something that Ooni of Ife said, okay, I want more wives. They said in the tradition, okay, that Kabiyesi cannot be with one wife. Yes, traditionally. And, one wife is not suitable for the throne of Oduduwa. So he must marry. Basically, they were expecting Kabiyesi to marry up to, sorry about that sound, I was pulling something. They are expecting Kabiyesi to marry up to 18 wives, okay? But even if he refuses to marry 18, he cannot marry less than 6. Now, these people, upon hearing that Kabiyesi wants to remove immunity, from the very beginning, they did not support it. A lot of them were fighting, and they were fighting for their own people inside the palace. But once they saw that Kabiyesi had become very adamant, say, get wetin that they talk, they say, na at all, na him bad. Upon seeing how adamant Kabiyesi had become, they now decided to leave this other, candidate and go for new candidate. Maybe Kabiyesi will be interested in those ones. The Ooni of Ife is not, they said he is not in the mood for more wives right now. In fact, those close to him said he had been resisting this entire process for months. Since the situation with Queen Naomi became the center of the palace spiritual and emotional story, the Oni had withdrawn somewhat from active engagement in matters of new wives. Remember, sometime last year, he was the one who came out to tell us that he was marrying new wives, but he didn't bring them, right? Many said his heart is still with Naomi. Of course, we do know that. And what makes this whole situation very, very difficult right now, and especially for the Loris inside. Naomi is not against Kabiyesi marrying. Kabiyesi, before now they used to say Kabiyesi is what do you call Kabiyesi is an African king, a big one at that. He can marry as many wives as he wants. Remember when they were convincing him to go and marry those women? That was the song they were singing. Even the wives themselves, gospel, ebony, all of them, they were singing it. The Kabiyesi is a very big king. Kabiyesi has the right to marry as many wives as he would want to marry. Nobody has the right to tell Kabiyesi not to marry. Who the hell are you and all of that? And right now, when they are expecting that Nami will stand against Kabiyesi and tell Kabiyesi not to marry any more wife, Nami is singing and Nami is clapping and blowing for Kabiyesi. Kabiyesi marry, oh, Kabiyesi marry. Because wetin that wife won't bring, we ain't go fit make the wife win Kabiyesi's heart. You where they agree to come this kind of marriage, no be you won't come for your own heart attack, your own share of heart attack. Wetin that woman go bring come palace that will make Kabiyesi to stop loving Naomi? Naomi is not worried. Naomi is, as a matter of fact, begging Kabiyesi that if marrying will make you last long, if marrying will make you happy, if marrying will make the elders allow you to run your throne, in the most comfortable way, because go and marry. I am right behind you. Remember the other time they have come to say how selfish she is. Right now, she's the one who is singing the song now. You are an African king, you have the right to marry as many wives as possible. They said that has become Olori Naomi song, Olori Naomi song right now. So as we are hearing, what is going on? They say when the elders walked into Kabiyesi's private hall with the, scroll containing the final names, the mood was uncomfortable. They said he sat on his throne, his expression unreadable. Your Majesty, one of the oldest elders began, it is with great reverence for the custom of our land that we present this final list of 6 maidens chosen to carry on the divine mandate of queenship. They only listened silently. Another elder continued, your silence has been respected. Your resistance understood, but your role as custodian of culture demand this next step. Still, the Oni said nothing. Eventually, he stood up, not in protest, but in slow contemplation. He walked towards the window and looked out over the palace ground where the sound of drums from a distant festival could still be heard. Turning around slowly, he finally spoke. I know what tradition requires, he said quietly, but don't make, don't mistake silence for approval. I have honored the crown, I have honored the land, but I'm not about to pretend I am happy about the situation right now. And I do understand what tradition is, but you're going to give me time. You cannot shove, ladies down my throat. That was what, they said Kabiyesi responded while the elders were talking the talk, tried to convince him, and all of that, gave him the names of the 6 ladies that were picked. And the way he responded sent, chills down their spines. This is what we are hearing. I'm going to bring you, more update. But do not forget that these are all alleged rumors, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.